The first time we got together, I took a riff over at Richie's. Richie's got a home studio, and we started I've sat down with other guitarists, and you end up just playing blues licks all day and not writing anything. But we went straight into the writing. I had a riff. We had a song called "Running," and Richie came up with a chorus, and that was it. I'm like, bang, in a couple of hours. I mean, we didn't finish it, but we had the basic thing down. So then we jammed. We did jam a little bit. We were sitting there with guitars, and then we came up with "Scars," the song "Scars." I had an idea for the verse, and Richie came up with an incredible chorus. It was just. We went to work straight away.
Yeah, it's the creative process. That's everything. That's why I, really kept at playing the guitar, because I wanted to make music and original music. So it's the most exciting part of it, the most rewarding part. I get the most satisfaction out of any element in music. I get the most satisfaction out of having an idea and then having it eventually come back out of the speakers and be like, yeah, that's what I was hearing in my head, or it's even better than I thought it was going to be. So
yeah, exactly.
And so that's the part that I think we connect on, because anybody can go play and jam, play some covers, but the thing that really is super rewarding is that having that little idea and having it come to life. So that's something that's the core of what this is the fact that we've written songs together. Yeah.
I think probably Richie and I have, well, speaking for myself, very different. I mean, I've been playing in Iron Maiden for such a long time, and the solos are part of the song, and the solos are almost without exception, 16 bars, and that's it. There's no extended solos. Most of the solos I play with Maiden are the same as on the record, partly because maybe that's what people want to hear, especially stuff like Trooper or old stuff. But with SK, and the way Richie plays, Richie's much more improvisational. It's encouraged me to be a little bit more trying to keep up with this guy,
Oh, right.
So, and it's nice, and I'm getting into that a bit, and I'm getting a little bit more confident about branching out, and I think I've only got 3 solos in the whole set that I play the same every night. The rest is off the top of my head. So and it's a bit of a challenge every night, so that's nice.
The way I've been, since I started recording myself is like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let me try it. Let's see what happens. And so in that approach, I'll get set up and I'll say, let me try something. And a lot of times I hear something. I might hear a melody to start with or something, and I'll play it, and I'll do a take, and then typically what'll happen, if it's in the body of the song, I usually have some kind of melody in my head. I think part of it too has to do with the fact that I'm a singer. So I kind of think in terms of a melody as what, singing. And so I might play something and then I'll go off from that. And so what'll happen is I'll record it and I'll be like, okay, I like the way I started it. I like the way I ended it, but that middle bit, I got lost in there. And then I might listen to it and say, oh, I hear something. Let me try and see if I can pull this off. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm kind of constructing in real time. And then on the other side of the coin, there are solos like at the end of a song, I'll just go off and go for it. And that's a lot of fun for me because I grew up playing with guys that would, we'd play jam and improvise. And so that's relatively easy for me to do that because it's kind of how I learned. It's comfortable for me. I know a lot of guys will sit home and, write out the solo. Okay, I'm going to play this here. Let me practice it 6 or 7 times. And then boom, I'll go to the studio, I'll record it. I've never done that, maybe I should. But it's just a different approach, This is my main signature model, Fender Telecaster. In '96, actually, they introduced 2 variables, a Strat and a Telecaster. So they've been in production for a long time, but now they're available globally. This became available globally maybe 15 years ago, and the Strat more recently. But this is the Tele, and it is really stock off the rack. My main Telecaster is at home, and the reason is because that guitar stays tuned at 440. With SK, we tune down a half step. So this is the dedicated Telecaster for everything Smith Kotzen, tuned down a half step, and it's completely stock off the rack, with the exception that I take sandpaper to the neck.
Yeah.
Just like the way that feels.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the other instrument. I only have two on this tour. I've got the Strat, the Tele, and I told you already that the Strat is also a signature model that you can buy. However, this color, I don't know if it's going to show up with these stage lights, but it's a really pretty blue, and we did this sort of as a one-off custom color. Now, there's two of these that exist. The ones that are actually on the market are white and red, which I've had for a long time.
Yeah.
But I had them do these baby blue. Had the baby blue color because I thought it was a good looking color. But the Strat is, you know, not quite as custom as the Tele. Same wood configuration, large frets. They used a really nice piece of maple for the neck. I don't know if you can see that. It almost looks like a bird's eye, but not quite. And, you know, I like the gold hardware and DiMarzio pickups.
Yeah.
And there you go.
So is that quite a chunky neck? I was just trying to figure out.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
but it's not as chunky as the Telecaster.
Yeah.
Somehow the Telecaster is a little bigger.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even remember why, but that's the way it is, and I like it.
Yeah.
So it has to do with the way the whole instrument feels, you know.
Yeah.
And so there you go.
And how do you, just as a sort of rough split, how much time do you spend in the set on the Tele and on the Strat?
It depends on my mood. Now, for example, the last tour that I did was in the fall in the United States, and I played all Strats. I had a blue one, a white one, and a red one. And that was it. It was the Strat, you know, tour.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I used the Telecaster. Now here I've got both. We do the first part. Whoa, I almost fell. We do the first part with the, you can leave that in if you want. The first part with the you know, this one, and then the middle is with the other one, and then I come back and finish the show with running all the way through with the Strat.
This is my signature model. It's a slightly later one because it's got the adjustable truss rod there, so you can get at it a bit more convenient. But it's a great working guitar. It stays in tune. It sounds great. And it's light, very easy to play, very slim neck, big frets. I mean, it's great. Love it.
It's got beautiful chunky frets, doesn't it? And
yeah.
So, is the humbucker at the bridge, is that a relatively hot one, or was it sort of more like the vintage humbuckers? Or?
Help.
So it's that Seymour Duncan JB.
Seymour Duncan JB, yeah.
Okay,
Jeff
there
Beck
you go.
pickup, yeah. So it's pretty high. I don't know exactly what it is, but it sounds good.
Absolutely. And the neck, is that quite chunky or slim? Or?
No, it's a slim neck.
Yeah.
I don't really like chunky necks. That's why I don't like old Les Pauls.
Yeah.
Or, you know, some Les Pauls. I mean, I do like Les Pauls, but I don't like chunky necks. So the Les Pauls I have got slimmer necks, and it's kind of flat profile. And I think it's modelled off an old Strat. When I first hooked up with Jackson, I took an old Strat to the factory and I copied the neck dimensions because it was comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
So. And I also use this because when I was a kid, I had a black Les Paul copy. It was my first guitar and I loved it. And I modded it and put Gibson pickups in it. I just maxed it out as much as I could, but eventually I sold it. Wish I still had it. But this, I bought this in New York. It's a Les Paul Classic.
Yeah.
It's not an old guitar. It's I think it might be a reissue. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But this is really chunky. This neck's a bit chunkier, but
Yeah.
I use it for a few songs, and it's got the mojo factor. You know, I just love that.
There's something unmistakable about a Les Paul. There's the sound of it. You know.
Yeah.
You can pick it out.
It just I suppose you play a certain way, got a lot of sustain, and you can maybe play a little less if you want, get away with it.
Yeah, totally.
But that's nice.
So,
good fun.
So how many guitars in all we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And are these backups here or just?
Well, the thing is, this guitar is tuned down a semitone.
Yeah.
All our guitars are tuned down a semitone. And then we would, like this one for example, we'll have so it's the equivalent of a standard tuning drop D, but this would be a C sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get the heavy kind of barring situation, the one finger bandit I call it, And this, I got this quite a few years ago. Gibson gave this to me. It's a beautiful custom, and this is the guitar. One of my favourite guitar. I mean, looks-wise, certainly, it's just absolutely beautiful. But what I didn't realise, it's got the slightly smaller frets. I wasn't quite, and my hands were slipping, so I'm going to put some bigger frets on, and that'll be back in action. But this is a lovely guitar as well.
Yeah, I've got in the studio, I've got one of my Marshall heads. It's the Super Lead 1959, hand wired, HW they call it, 4-input Marshall. We plug. Well, I mean, I know you were using it as well, but we plug into the upper right channel, which is the normal channel, and then it takes pedals really well, and the cabinet's obviously in another room with microphones on it, and that was the main rig at my house. But then you also did some recording on your place too.
But to be quite honest, I mean, I with the exception of a tube screamer, maybe I'll put a tube screamer with that amp because it's all set up. So and a lot of my equipment is in England, and we record in America. So and I lost a bit of gear in the fire as well.
Yeah.
Last year. So, but I do some stuff at home with just a Marshall, just a JMV Marshall. But mainly I used Richie's gear because it's so easy, and we work fast. I've got an idea, plug it in, bash,
It's specifically an orange head. The color is orange.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Marshall head,
yeah.
But it's just wrapped in an orange Tolex, so I can identify it. But I love it because when I plug into it, I know what I'm in for. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a guessing game. I don't like a lot of configurations, because at the core of what I do, my concern isn't gear. It never was. It's like I want to make music.
Sure.
So let me get to it. Give me something that's responsive.
Yeah.
This is the most responsive head I've ever played through. If I play quiet, it's quiet. Mm-hmm. If I hit it hard, it barks at me, and it's hard. And so I can control it. It doesn't compress my sound and make it sound little. Mm-hmm. I just love the way it sounds. And then I don't know what's in there, but I like the vintage 30s.
Yeah.
Although I just got hip to the cream backs, which are 60 watt. I put those in my combo.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, they still sound very similar because the cone is the same size.
Yeah.
You see, with the 70 watt speaker, I believe that cone is bigger. I don't care for that sound. No. I like the smaller cone dimension, and that's how I get the response that I like out of the speaker.
Interesting that you say the Super Bass was the one you have at home, because a lot of people like them even better than the straight Super Lead Plexi.
It's a different tonality. Yeah. But I haven't recorded with it in years because I don't really know why I haven't. Oh, I remember, it was blowing fuses.
Right.
Yeah. But recently I pulled it out and I played through it, and it was working.
Yeah.
But that's why I stopped playing through it, because it would blow fuses in the worst possible time when I'm in the middle of something. And then, again, I don't want to be distracted if I'm trying to play something or record something. So then I started using the reproduction, which, is hand wired, it's top notch, so I don't have any problem with it.
With SK, I mean, we're pretty old school. We both use amplifiers. I mean, a lot of bands now just don't use backline. It's all, and it's processed, and it's in ears, and we've got the wedges, and we got the stacks, half stacks, and we just go for it. I mean, and the amps there's so much choice these days. I mean, back in the times you're talking about, when the electric guitar came to the fore, really, 60s, 70s, there wasn't really that much around. You really had to work to get a sound, but now it's just... But having said that, a lot of it's in here and, what you're feeling. You just got to have something that enables you to express,
Yeah, I mean,
feeling.
it doesn't have to be loud to be good. And
Right.
a lot of times being loud can be a problem.
I don't like, if I go see a band, I don't like to be, I like to
I like to
loud,
be
but
good.
not good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be loud. Also, it doesn't have to be quiet either, but, it's like taste.
Yeah.
You just got
Yeah.
Food's got to taste a certain way for you to
Yeah.
want to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got more shows, and I'm very excited about how it's been going, how well received the album was, and it's just a great thing. It's a great creative outlet, and it's something that I think both of us would like to see carry on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a great time on the road. I mean, this is our first proper tour. We did a little tour a few years ago, just 12 dates, which I loved. I love taking the songs on stage, and I love singing, and I love singing with Richie because, I mean, he has the range. I kind of fit in with him, and we both, it's expressive, I'm up there and I'm lost in a world where I've got to play solos, rhythm, singing, harmonies. There's so much going on. It's so fulfilling, really, for me.